Before this video starts, I just want to give a massive shout out to all my channel members. If you want to receive a shout out, then become a channel member today and you'll be shown on screen like all these other channel members here. Anyways, enjoy the video. In version 15.0, a brand new Uber was added to the Galaxy Gals. This being Raclesa the Lioness, or Raclesa Sigma. This unit comes equipped with Strong vs Floating, with Slow, Omni Strike, as well as immunities to Knockback, Weaken, Curse, Toxic, and Surge. In this video, I want to go over this Uber and their kit and see how well they can perform on the battlefield. The footage of Raclesa is at level 40. To get us started, I think the best place to start is by looking at her stats. At level 30, they sport a gigantic 168,000 HP while dealing a solid base 59,670 damage with 7.8k DPS. These alone are some great base stats that let her tank several hits and dish out solid damage. When adding her strong ability in the equation, these stats effectively become 420,000 health with 107,000 damage and 14k DPS against floating enemies. She has a somewhat long force swing of 2.8 seconds, but her 100 extra piercing range ensures that she doesn't miss too many attacks. She also sports a decently fast cooldown of 94.87 seconds, which can allow you to have multiple out over the course of a battle. She can also slow for 6 seconds against floating enemies, providing extremely solid crowd control with an uptime of 79.2%. This is especially useful for Bun Bun variants and Cyclones, as these enemies are both beefy and fast, so hitting them hard with reliable damage and a solid slow can make these enemies way easier to handle. As an anti-floating specialist, she's an amazing unit for taking on a wide range of floating enemies. Her bulk when compared to other floating Ubers is fairly impressive, even when compared to dedicated floating tanks. This allows her to tank a significant amount of damage and still put up a good fight. Having 3 knockbacks also helps with survivability, as this allows her to reposition in the event she gets pushed. That is, if the enemies can break her effect of 140,000 endurance. Her damage is also fairly solid, as at level 30, her damage alone can chuck a gigantic pool of supporting enemies. To name a few examples, she can nearly one-shot 1200% Alberos, deal over an eighth of Otham's health, and can 4-shot Gobble. Speaking of Gobble, Raclesa comes equipped with several immunities. One of them is Toxic Immunity. This immunity allows her to handle swarms of Zolos and Gobbles with no issues at all. This immunity also has applications against Big Pang Z due to the Brawlo and Alberos that are present in the stage that she can nuke. Her knockback immunity also has application for Megamuth, as she can deal a significant amount of damage to the giant moth, though she does need to be wary of the zombies and Professor A present. Weaken immunity can let her be useful for Calamari and Cleone, and at higher levels, can be used to get a hit-in or two against Insanglion due to her extremely good endurance, though don't expect her to stick around for long. Surge immunity is mainly for mixed stages, but it does allow her to tank Kazuku head-on without the fear of being blown up by a surge. Last but not least is her Curse immunity, which is an ability that is not only commonly paired with floating enemies, but is also an ability that a few floating enemies have, specifically the mixed-traded Otham, Golem Sunfish, and Loki. Being immune to their curses and landing gigantic hits can make these enemies way easier to deal with, as 2 of these enemies use Curse as their main form of bulking themselves. She stands at 350 range and has an Omni Strike that ranges from -100 to 450. This standing range is good enough to stay safe from most floating enemies, and the ones that do outrange her aren't the biggest threats, as they don't deal a ton of damage or attack very infrequently. The one exception to this is Soractis, as they have both the attack rate and their freeze to completely immobilize Raclesa, but outside of this boss, her stats and other abilities can let her be extremely useful for almost any floating enemy. So, how good is Raclesa? Well, to simply put, she is a simple but extremely powerful anti-floating Uber. She hits hard, she can tank extremely well, provides amazing crowd controlling, and comes packed with a ton of immunities to be used in a wider range of stages where you might not bring a unit otherwise. With all that said, I want to thank you for watching this analysis of Raclesa. If you thought this insight was interesting, then be sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy Battle Cats content, and comment down below your thoughts on them. I'd love to hear what you all think of them. Also, shout out to the following channel members: Dr. Deadly, Gomet, Virus Perro, Just a Shark, Gross Cat the Ultra, Potato King, Atsushi, King Wolf, Tentacle Gaming, Clamorous, Barely Grover, Jade Rabbit, Mustafa, and Janek Altenberg for being silver members or higher. If you want to receive a shoutout like these channel members here, then become a silver member or higher today. Becoming a channel member supports what I do in a way that helps keep the lights on and allows me to continue making content for all of you to watch. Anyways, I hope you have a wonderful day.